Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a look. It's been the better part of a year, if not maybe a little bit more, since these grading companies accepted your metal cards from your Celebrations UPC, graded them, and then they were damaged. Whether that was from the encapsulation process itself or the fact that the slab does not protect the metal cards, it doesn't matter. They put your cards in there. They should be paying you for the card or replacing it if it was damaged in that case, especially when it didn't even get back to you in the condition that you sent it in. That's my opinion. Here we go. We have it. CGC, with their groundbreaking super duper research, has somehow formulated a plan to be able to grade these cards. They want your money. They will take your money. Don't worry though. They will not, as far as I can tell, be refunding you for the metal cards that you sent in that they damaged or that were damaged because of their cases, because of the fact that they just rushed into grading something that was never graded before. We didn't have a graded metal cards before, but how hard could it be, right? I mean, it's the same size as a trading card. We can just slap it in our cheap plastic cases. Charge you $20. I don't know how much it was at the time. It could have been more than that. How expensive it was to for them to finger bang your metal trading cards into a piece of plastic and charge you for it. But it seems like we're still not owning up. We're not owning up to the fact that their cases did not protect. They like to claim that that's a good reason to grade your cards. But clearly, it didn't help in this case. And when it didn't help, they don't want to be liable. They don't care. They don't want to pay for it. They don't want to replace your cards. Why would they do that? They don't have to do that. They'll just blame it on the fact that the card is really fragile. So let's get into it here. We got CGC Trading Cards is pleased to announce that the company will once again be accepting the commemorative Pikachu and Charizard metal cards along with Arceus V and Arceus V-Star metal cards for authentication, grading, and encapsulation. Lucky you guys. You get to be the guinea pig number 2 because it sounds like they're not even sure if this is going to work. So what we have here, spoiler alert, is they just copied Beckett's inner sleeve, and they even kind of say that they just mimicked the corner gaps that were present on the packaging from the UPC. I don't know about you guys, but mine that I sleeved and put in my binder, it's fine. It's not flaky dakin. It's not anything. It's fine. It's in perfect shape. So I don't know if you can use that as the excuse. This is a card that you can get graded, but it'll probably never be in the same condition because apparently it's too flaky. All right, let's watch the video here. We're not gonna. They got some like adult cinema music that plays in the background that we're not gonna play. But here we have it. Special holder for metal cards. Nice. We got little gappy wappies on the corners. That I'm sure that was a very extensive research process here. We got an inner sleeve. Wow, never saw that before. I think people were even speculating at the start that you could just use an inner sleeve like BGS. If BGS would grade the cards, then it would be fine because you got a sleeve on it. You can also just put it in your own sleeve and not have it in this case. Or you can put it in your own plastic case in a sleeve. Perfect fit, that little bad boy. Call it a day. All right, we got to look back. They got a new article, but we're gonna read the old one first here to get a feel for how they were gonna blame it on everyone except for themselves, even though they're the ones that are claiming that they're going to protect your investment. They're going to increase the value of your cards. That's the point of grading, right? Is that you're gonna protect your stuff. I have to tell people constantly that it does not protect your cards from UV. It does not protect your cards from moisture. The plastic case, it might as well be a top loader, other than I guess it's a little bit harder to break than a top loader. But here, this is the article back from 3/4/2022. Temporary delay for submissions of metal trading cards. Orders containing metal cards from the Pokemon Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection are being delayed while CGC Trading Cards adapts its holder. How does it take you a year to make a new plastic mold and to put a sleeve on the inside? And then you're going to brag about how it was extensive research. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything back from the other companies yet. It's probably not a priority. They probably just shouldn't have been graded to begin with because it's not an actual trading card. Released in October 2021, the Pokemon Celebrations. So there we have it. We have more than a year went by where these cards were on the market available, and the fact that it took them that long to put a sleeve on the inside of their case and put some little gaps in the corners. The Pokemon Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection includes 2 metal commemorative cards, a Pikachu and a Charizard. Unfortunately, due to the manner which they are manufactured, it definitely doesn't have anything to do with the case. The case isn't to blame here, guys. We're not gonna blame the case, even though anyone that didn't get their cards graded did not have the same flaking issues. The metal cards are very fragile and can be easily damaged in transit. As a result, CGC trading cards will delay the return of submissions containing these 2 cards while it adapts its holder to ensure that these fragile cards are better protected against rough handling. So we saw there were customers that had like an absolute nightmare of a time where their order was kind of held back because they had metal cards in it, and the fact that they couldn't get like part of their order, they had to like fight with them. I don't know if they ended up actually getting part of their order returned, and then they were going to hold on to the metal cards, or if they could just refund and send the metal cards back ungraded. It was a huge headache. So it bad enough that you messed up, and you thought that you could grade these things and that there would be no negative effects. It wouldn't damage the cards, and then also to make it a pain for your customers who sent the metal cards in with other cards. Again. People ask, why don't you grade, Rattle? The stupid crap like this. The gaping holes that are in these companies, just the headaches that are involved. For what? If it's a card that I'm going to have, again, I value my opinion far more than any CGC employee. It doesn't matter if they're sitting down next to Chum-Li, giving them a hand job. I don't care. They're not an expert. And this is disgusting that they're not doing anything. Apparently, they're not doing anything for the customers that have damaged cards because they graded with them. They should at least be replacing the cards with a new copy. I know that would be expensive at this point, so they probably don't want to do that. But in my opinion, that's what should happen. It's otherwise, like, what's the point? They can just damage your stuff, or put your stuff in a case that they claim is going to protect it, but it ends up being worse than just sleeving the thing. Tossing it in a binder or a top loader or whatever. CGC Trading Cards does not yet have a timeline for the holder updates and testing. Well, we have one now. It took them a year. But the process is being expedited to the fullest extent possible. We need to make your money. You need to give us your money. We gotta fix this. We gotta copy BGS's inner sleeve. And then they'll charge you some extra at some point to make up for that research and development, or if you want to call it that. The same research and development that everyone on Etsy and Alibaba can do to make their own card holder. It's just a piece of plastic. An announcement will be made once this holder is completed. At that time, actually, some of the ones on there, some of the fake cases or like do-it-yourself grading cases actually already have the wells. So you go buy a pack of sleeves, that's pretty cheap, and then you stick that bad boy in an Etsy plastic. Voila, your CGC's research and development team, and you didn't even have to research and develop anything. At the time, submissions of metal cards that have already been shipped by CGC Trading Cards may be resubmitted under its reholder service for encapsulation in the new holder. Please note. Okay, we got the little disclaimer here, and we're going to see this come back, which is funny. Please note, due to the fragile nature of these metal cards, oh my god, they're so fragile, they're delicate flowers. CGC Trading Cards cannot be held responsible should any damage occur to a Pokemon Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection Pikachu Charizard card during transit to or from CGC Trading Cards facilities. So, I don't know how much, did they like put it in a paint shaker or something after they put the inner sleeve on there, like ship it back and forth between employees or something? To see if like anything would flake off. Is it still going to flake off and then the sleeve is just going to hold it on there? This is dumb. So dumb. CGC Trading Cards is dedicated to providing collectors and dealers with superior encapsulation that protects and preserves cards. So there we have it. You're selling a product that is supposed to protect and preserve cards. It did the opposite, and you're not going to pay out the people that got F'd in the B. I mean, how can you make these two statements next to each other and not think that it's just like a huge contradiction? We appreciate your patience while the team identifies the best solution for safely encapsulating these metal cards. All right, so now we got the new article. Here it is. CGC trading cards accepting submissions for metal Pokemon cards. Once again, exclamation mark 125-2023. After an extensive R&D process, CGC extensive. They put a sleeve inside the case and put little gaps on the corners. The cases already had this. This is all stuff that already existed. But this is supposed to be like groundbreaking. Like just worded, just be like, yeah, well, I guess if we put an inner sleeve on it, it's probably safer. After an extensive R&D process, CGC Trading Cards has implemented an innovative method for encapsulating delicate metal Pokemon commemoratives. I don't know about you guys, but I love collecting my delicate metal Pokemon commemoratives. I have quite the commemorative collection. Orders that have been on hold have already started to ship back to submitters. It's about time. You should have just sent them all back and just stopped grading these things. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we still see issues. You notice here, like, whenever they're researching something that actually requires they use any sort of technology, they always show all the scans and stuff like that. They want to show off. We get the science behind it. You see the stuff that people took them from the factory and probably have multiple copies of, and the people that own the card or own copies of the card, you see how they are the ones telling the story, the backstory behind it. Well, we're not going to do any of that here because we probably don't want to admit or don't want to show you guys that what we did is we looked at a Beckett slab, we looked at the packaging from the UPC, and we're like, all right, so if we take the sleeve, if we take a penny sleeve and we close it off, we pinch it off with some heat, and then we put it in a case that looks a lot like all of the cases that have these corner gaps. Voila. This is it. I hope somebody didn't get paid for the whole year to research and develop this. That's pretty embarrassing. CGC Trading Cards is pleased to announce that the company will once again be accepting the commemorative Pikachu and Charizard metal cards from the Pokemon Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection for authentication, grading, and encapsulation. So I don't think anyone's faking these at this point in time. So if you're doing it for authentication and you pulled it out of your own UPC, I don't know what to tell you. You're hopeless. In addition to the Pikachu and Charizard metal cards, CGC Trading Cards is also accepting Arceus V and Arceus V-Star metal cards from the GameStop exclusive Arceus V-Star Ultra Premium Collection for certification. Get it certified. CGC Trading Cards conducted an extensive R&D process, I'm sure it was, to develop an encapsulation solution that would help to protect the delicate edges of these cards from damage during transit. So you're saying that your normal case is not very good at protecting cards? It's just a really expensive. What are those, like magnetic cases? The result is an innovative adaptation to the CGC Trading Cards holder that is both protective and aesthetically pleasing. So if anything did, like with the pandemic and everything else, all these like temporary grading companies that popped up, if that doesn't prove to people that like anyone can put your card in a piece of plastic and give it a number, I don't know what else does. But 2 additional layers of protection, including an internal sleeve and internal well that is similar to the one utilized by Pokemon in the Ultra Premium Collection packaging, have been added to the. Are you sure it wasn't like half of the fake whatever do-it-yourself encapsulation kits that you saw? The wells exist on a lot of cases. The sleeves already existed. Have been added to the popular CGC Trading Cards holder. Many of the metal cards that had been held by CGC Trading Cards have already been shipped to their submitters, with the rest shipping to submitters soon. We thank our submitters for their patience as CGC Trading Cards implemented the necessary changes to ensure that collectors and dealers receive the best possible authentication, grading, and encapsulation services. Please note, we get the note again. Guys, don't worry, we fixed the problem, but don't, if your stuff gets jacked up because we put it in a case to and from whenever at any point, we're not responsible. I guess we can read the actual comment, but that's pretty much what they're saying. Please note, due to the fragile nature of these metal cards, CGC trading cards cannot be held responsible should any damage occur during transit to or from CGC trading cards facilities, as such damage can occur even with the highest degree of care. I don't know. It works out pretty good if you just don't get it graded. If a card is returned to the submitter, not graded, it is likely not suitable for certification due to loose paint found on the edges of some cards, which can flake off. Is it even paint? I thought it was like electroplate, kind of thin-ass metal. How to submit. Are you ready to submit your cards to CGC trading cards? It's easy. So we've seen a recent influx of people that are just cracking out CGCs. I've said this to PK, and I just, again, like the amount of money that people wasted sending their cards because they just weren't patient or they wanted to flip them, sending it to CGC just so they can crack it out now and send it to PSA. It's ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't be sending it to either if it was me, but in terms of value, we're starting to see again where when PSA opens the floodgates, that's where the value is going to be. That's what most people want to collect, and just it's follow the leader. When the value is there, the additional value, and people are grading for the additional value, that's where you're going to see it. Otherwise, you're grading with someone that you're just going to end up cracking the case. You're spending $20 to have to go through the hassle of cracking out and send it to another company. But to each their own, guys. You know, if you like graded cards, do your do what you got to do. But not for me. I think this is another joke. With the amount of people that are affected, I think this was a good chance for CGC to just like own up to it, be like, hey, our cases were mediocre. They didn't really protect these cards. It's not the person submitting them. They're not at fault. They're just entrusting you to encapsulate their junk and make it protected. And you didn't do that. You let the cards get jacked up. You didn't do any research at the beginning. You just were eager to take some pay. Take some submissions, get that submission money, and it took you a year to send cards back to people. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.